Well, hello everyone, I am Fracture and I welcome you to another episode of... What is this? This is Two Worlds 2 on the PC. We're about to have a horse race. Now, this is going to be tight. It's actually quite a difficult race. If anything goes wrong, you pretty much have to do it perfectly and you'll end with a few seconds left. So, let's hope for the best. I'm going to go ahead and do it. You have to know a couple of tricks too. Basically, you're racing, you're following progressive X's, like the previous thing in the previous video. And when you get to the other end of the track, you have to pick up a trophy. Now, if you take the time to get off your horse and grab the trophy, you're screwed. You'll never get back on your horse and back in time. But as you've noticed, I can grab stuff at a full gallop. So the trick is, wherever the trophy is hanging, I think it's hanging on a post or sitting on a table, you run past it and grab it at a full gallop, turn around and start heading back. All these things they don't really tell you, and just adds to the frustration. Well, let's see if we can pull it off. It took me 3 tries last time. Maybe we'll do a little better.
Where was this patience in our first...
Okay, let's do it.
Then, good luck.
So, timer's going. And as I said, there we go. So we're just following the path and following the X's, and there's a couple of places along the path, and you really have to keep your horse maxed out, basically.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Try not to let its speed drop too much. And there's a couple of spots where it's really easy to lose and that was one of them. Really quite easy to lose the... I don't think I'll make it now. Definitely not. So what happened there is trying to run under that tree. I just got hooked up on the tree and it pissed the horse off. So what I'm trying to do is look at 3 things at once. I'm looking at my horse speed indicator. Got stuck in another tree. And I let my speed drop, so we're down to 1 minute and 50. And really, if you don't get to the end by 1 minute and 30 seconds, I don't think I have a chance here. So I'll try. Yeah, okay, so here's obtain the Rustler's Trophy. And what you do is grab it like that, and then it's returned. Now I got to get all the way back in 1 minute and 20. Something that I'm not going to do if I goof once, basically. So I think we're coming, yeah, so this is get hooked up on that tree again. And here's another spot where the trail disappears. 28 seconds? I don't think so, Tim. So I got 10 seconds to get down around this corner at essentially a full gallop. 6, 5, 4, and I did it. So now your reputation within the horse racing community increased, which tells you there's going to be more of that. Wonderful. So there we go. Pulled it off, and as I said, with seconds to spare, and that was even with falling off my horse once, so I guess I'm getting a little better. Anyway, let's chat with the dude now.
What are you doing here? Are you giving up?
I've beaten you, just as you asked.
I'm sorry, but I can't allow my people to be led by someone so irresponsible. I'd rather die.
Well, that can be
I'm not
arranged.
going to fight you, Alton.
What?
I'm not giving you a choice.
I'm not going to kill you.
I want to
You're
kill you.
going to have to.
Have
You'll
to?
resume trading with Alima and her people, and you'll be compensated accordingly. As long as you do this, you can continue leading your people.
Our supplies are minimal at best because of our limited access to a cheap source of fresh water.
Now you're talking like a competent leader. If there's a water source in the area, I'll find it.
That would be great.
But in return, Halhin needs to resume trading with Bayan. Do we have an agreement?
Yes, I think so. I don't believe you can find a solution, but maybe I'm wrong.
You are. We'll talk later.
Wait a moment. I'll open the village gate just in case. Don't be surprised if you're not welcomed with open arms. The majority of Halhin doesn't take kindly to outsiders.
So he's opening that gate, which was already open, but anyway. I think he actually goes through... No, that's the one he opens. Okay, well, whatever. There's no real reason to take my horse. I'm not going very far. So we're trying to find a fresh water supply now. And actually on the map, if you look around, there's a flag, drought. Yeah, I could use a beer. So we're going to head down there, and it looks like he's out on a peninsula or out on a dock or a jetty. So let's just head down there. And easiest way down there is through this house. Excuse me, don't mind me. Just passing through. I think this is one of the few games I've seen that has full-on waves like that. Not the great place for a dock with all these big waves, but that is pretty impressive water.
Welcome.
Another bout of annoying voiceover
Welcome.
work.
Listen, can't you smell that?
The fish? This is a pier, you know.
I'm not talking about the fish.
How can one love food and not appreciate the aroma of its raw ingredients?
While I love a good steak.
Well, do you care for trivia? Here's one I like. It is found in the savannah. Some called it desert rice. Can you guess?
Well, that's pulling an odd bit of trivia out of the air for no reason. Let me guess. Termites?
Let me guess. Termites?
Exactly. Then you've tasted them?
What?
Should have guessed you'd... I prefer conventional food.
There is no such word here in the savannah. Termites are nutritious and tasty. And with the amount of water each contains, you'll never go thirsty eating them. Like a crunchy grape. A termite a day keeps Gazan's hut away.
They retain water?
Oh, yes. Termites build their mounds near sources of fresh water,
My
carrying
doll.
it back to their mounds. I usually find them near the acacia trees around the village.
Good to know.
Indeed.
So, okay, well that little bit of voice acting certainly had me convinced he was eating while he was talking. Okay, so we learned, for some reason, learned a little bit about termites and that they build their mounds near water sources. Okay, so, really, no real hint on what to do next, except the map knows And we just follow the pins. And look, a termite mound.
Excuse me, but would it be too impolite for me to ask you to leave?
I apologize. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm looking for the
I was
nuclear
simply
vessels.
Curious. Well, I couldn't possibly dissuade a fellow naturalist from marveling at such fascinating creatures.
I'm sorry. What creatures?
Termites, of course. Quite magnificent creatures, really. For example, could you imagine being able to carry your own body weight? Without magic, of course. And that's just the beginning. I'm currently in the middle of an enthralling study investigating the water capacity of termite mounds.
I'm sure it is. Huh? I'm sure it is. Oh, yeah, I guess he's referring to the fascinating study. Okay, that just didn't quite make sense to me. All right.
I'm sure it is.
I could go on for days.
I'm sure you could.
But I have work to do. You can stay if you like, but I really must concentrate on my research.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, I suppose I can always take time to compare notes with a fellow entomologist. Did you know that their mounds can reach up to 5 times the height of a human? That's nearly 3 orcs, or 12 dwarves. And they can survive in nearly any condition, even this drought. They extract water from the roots of the trees.
Listen, I didn't really...
Right, I understand. You've probably discovered all of this for yourself. But if you're interested, I brought several copies of my new book with me. We can talk about it later if you like.
Later sounds fine. I'll need some time to reflect on everything you've said.
Okay, track water source near termite nests and acacia grove. Now, one of the things you can do with these termite nests is actually search them when you find these little holes. And this one's empty, but occasionally they have termite eggs. And those come in useful a little later. There's kind of a collecting quest where you have to collect vast quantities of termite eggs. Okay, so we kind of have enough information now. And if we look on the map, we have an X instead of a pin. So that means the sort of the end or a pivotal point in the quest. So let's head back that way. Now, one of the things I did when I was playing the mage, of course, since I wasn't recording it, spent a lot more time walking and killing mobs and gaining levels and that sort of thing. So I may do that off camera. I'm not sure, or I may just record it. And let me just get that recorded. I don't know if I have that on my map yet. There's a cave there. So I think we're coming up to the area. Yes, we are. If you look off into the distance, there is a varn. What is a varn? A dog-like thing that we need to kill. And because he's walking uphill, he's a little hard to hit. Now, one of the things I could have done to aid my fight...
There always seems to be a few more of you to kill.
Oh, got a level.
Let's see.
One of the things I could have done to aid my fight would have been use perhaps multi-arrow when he got close. That's the one time I find that multi-arrow is very useful. I walked past something I could collect. Where was it? There it is.
Hey.
Now, of course, these things are walking side to side, so very difficult to hit, if not impossible. So I think really the only thing I can do to hit them from a distance, so to get the jump on him, is wait until he's about to turn around. Nope, still missed it. Well, let's use... Why is fire arrow not lit up? Oh, sure, he picked up speed. Gotcha, at last. And we got more than we can deal with, certainly. Time to run! Luckily, I don't believe these guys heal over time.
Warned you.
Did I? Shaman.
Ha!
Yeah, now it's a fire arrow. That's strange. So he's marked, but you can see I missed by a long shot. Okay, but we're getting to the point where I should really take a break so the video doesn't get too long.
Not now.
So, we'll continue this in the next video. I will say I thank you for watching and I thank you for listening. I encourage you to leave comments, suggestions, or infantile abuse. I promise I read it all. And if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel or give me the thumbs up. And in the next video, we're just going to... Obviously, this mechanic doesn't work, so we're just going to get their attention and have them chase us, and then I'll start using my arrow to greater effect. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.